Action is the only thing that brings clarity. It's the only thing that brings clarity. And so, as you continue to take those faith steps of not knowing who is where and who's going to be there, I mean, that's his job, right? Our job is excellence. His job is perfection. We just need to go out and continue to take those action steps forward, and you will see the pieces start to fall together. Once you find that agent, that's typically going to be your gateway into a market, okay? Because if you find a good agent that has the additional attributes and intangibles that you're talking about, and they're willing to buy into your vision, then that's going to afford you an opportunity to have them to be kind of your boots on the ground initially until you get the rest of that set up, right? So most agents, if they're investor friendly, which is important, right? You more often than not, when you go into a new market, you're looking for investor friendly agents, not agents who just do retail. Because as we talked about yesterday, you can't have somebody advising you that don't even understand what you're doing. Contextually, they think they do because you're buying a house, but you're buying a specific type of investment for a very specific reason, and you need a very specific person for that reason. So I would highly recommend that you find a investor-friendly realtor who already works with investors. If they already work with investors, chances are they probably already know contractors in that particular market. And if they know contractors in that market, then that gives you a leg up and having some of that infrastructure already in place while you figure out, all the other pieces. Because action is the only thing that brings clarity. It's the only thing that brings clarity. And so, as you continue to take those faith steps of not knowing who is where and who's going to be there, I mean, that's his job, right? Our job is excellence. His job is perfection. We just need to go out and continue to take those action steps forward, and you will see the pieces start to fall together. Nope. It's a good deal in every market, right? It's wealth in every inch of this world. There's wealth, even in the most impoverished places, right? So it's opportunity everywhere. If I'm gonna take the time to go fishing, I want to fish in the pond where the most fish is, because I want to catch something. I ain't the guy that just want to sit out there on the water for 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? And talk about we went out there today. I want to catch something. So I want to. So when I look at markets, I'm strategically looking for places that have, enough opportunity. But there is opportunity in every single market, though. So I would never, in a general sense, say that don't do deals in this market.
I just thought maybe for reasons of maybe like tax or like what in general like costs are significantly higher here, or you know what I'm saying? Like I thought maybe there would be like a market that you're like, you know what, I don't really touch that market because X, Y, and Z, And
here's my philosophy on that, right? High taxes, high cost of real estate, somebody's buying it. So to some degree, somehow the market works. It just may not be the most advantageous for you if you know how to invest somewhere else that has more favorable conditions, right? Because people in Cali, if they're in La Jolla and they, got an 800 square foot house for 1.5 million, they just accustomed to that. So for them, somehow that still makes sense. For me, I'm like, I mean, how do you do that, right? Like the math ain't mathing for me. For all those reasons that you just aforementioned. So it's really it's a function of real estate works everywhere. It just works in different nuance. Like for instance, a lot of buyers in Cali or New York, they buy for equity, which for me is a huge no-no. If I buy a cash flow deal, it needs to cash flow. Now the equity is a great byproduct to that, but at the end of the day, I can't cash flow that equity. Right? I can leverage against it as we talked about yesterday, but at the end of the day, if it's a cash flow property, it needs to produce cash flow. So in challenging markets like New York and Cali, because the cost of real estate is so expensive, that even when you put a tenant in there, and a lot of the time you break it even, and sometimes you even got negative cash flow, but because of the appreciation in those markets, it's appreciating several hundred thousands of dollars year over year in some cases, to where they say, you know what, I'm gonna hold this for 5 years. I know I'm a tank every month, but I'm gonna hold this for 5 years and I'm gonna exit and make $2 million. For me, that's just not a good strategy, but it works. So every market has nuance that works for some investor. It's just about, based on your goal and your appetite, kind of what's the best market for you.